Hello, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au and welcome to part 3 of my monthly observations for February 2024. Part 3 always looks at the MO. In numerology, there are 3 main numbers: the birth number, the MO, the reality number. The birth number flags what we're about to learn about and step into, come to exemplify, hopefully on a spiritual level, that little bit more than we were before. The MO tells us or describes, points to the sorts of energies or dynamics that are going to help us do that are going to help us achieve that birth number growth, right? And then the third number is the reality number, which is the product of the 2 other vibes. And the reality number tells us the ultimate states or the end points, the final resting places that we get to by working through all of the above. So the MO every February is 42.6. When we combine February with 2026, we also see an MO of 1372. Now that's interesting because with 1372 means that it's an 11-2, so it's a master number. There are a few of those flying about. And if you have a look at my observations for 2026, the year, I talk about the fact that this first quarter of the Gregorian calendar, January through to December for 2026, it's not until about April that things settle down. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that life from here until the end of April is going to be hell. Yeah, quite possibly will be for some people, God forbid. But for many of us, it might just be more full than usual on an energetic, invisible, what the hell is happening, excuse my French, what's going on, where is my place in it, all those sorts of levels. Because when master numbers visit, they come in a way that help self to open its eyes again to how life works, not just generically, but for it, around it, and with it. Because, of course, we each engage with flow differently. We're each here to engage with flow uniquely. And part of life is about learning that, you know what, that way doesn't fit me, or that isn't flow for me, this life. This is. This month, again, we've got 42.6 and 137, which reduces to 2 as M.O.s. Now, again, 137 adds through 11. And 6 and 11, like, as I say in my writing about the M.O.s for this month on the website and the monthly observations page, numbers all reinforce one another. Yeah, so it's not that they just stand alone. Yeah, by acknowledging the dynamics that are in a chart, we can start to understand how a 3 or how an 11 is due to play through and reinforce the others. So 42.6, because it's a 6, it talks about goodness, it talks about balance, it talks about peace. And all right, peace in terms of war or not, and of course that's incredibly important, but also peace within self and around self. Self only feels at peace when there are no dynamics challenging it. And what I mean by that is, when I say challenge, I don't mean positive challenge. I mean those dynamics that really steal the focus of, again, what's going on? Why is this happening to me? I'm going to fail. Why are they doing this? Yeah, that's negative, whatever those words are. 42.6 asks us to find balance. Yeah, and the way that we do that best is to first take time out from the chaos. Yeah, whether it's loud chaos or teeny weeny chaos. At the end of the day, balance, if we're talking about balance being a permanent or a fixed state, assuming there even is one, yeah, that means commitment. That means proactive maintenance of balance, not just the reactive. Yeah, 137, in a sense, it also talks about the fact that adulthood, grown-up self, centered, grounded responses are really what's required. this month, or continue to be required. In other words, let go of the noise, let go of the hype. Let go of the hype, whether it's your hype, as in your inner narrative, whether it is silent hype, which is often collective. In other words, you know what, I'm just caught up in all these vibes. I can't relax. I can't get to quiet. I can't sleep, whatever those words. I can't wind down, can't stop. Yeah, have a look at those things, because in a sense, any form of imbalance is here to inform us. It's not just here to thwart or to interrupt or to inconvenience or even to excite. Yeah, everything informs if we let it. And the dare with periods that have full-on dynamics, irrespective of whether they're little full-on or huge full-on, they always dare us to remember the essentials. And at the end of the day, spiritually, on a manifesting level, there are very few essentials we have to remember. The first one is breath. The second one, I'm not quite sure about the order actually, is choose to come back to quiet. And when I say choose to come back to quiet, yeah, right, quiet is the end goal. But really, what's really being said there is choose to reconnect with a level of guidance that knows the whole deal, that can and will inform you, that will heal and rebalance you if you allow it to. Give that energy, give that intelligence the space to drop in of its own volition, in its own way, and present what it knows to you. So in one sense, when we're talking about clearing to get spiritually wise, to get big picture aware, the dare is to come at that without knowing. It's in the stance of I don't know that we come to know most. But to do that, we have to let go of I know first. We have to let go of mind. We have to let go of where we've been. The best way to do that, again, is to just let go of everything. Yeah. And what I mean by letting go is breathe and see yourself just releasing everything from every pair of hands in every cell of your body and around. Don't try and be outside making things happen. Just be you. Just be in you. Just come back to hello. The first relationship is you and source. Yeah, what I mean by that is the first relationship needs to be you and your supply of good, productive, constructive, spiritual energy. The universe is real. It gives when we allow it to. And so therefore, really, it is again choosing, first of all, hello, I'm going to clear. I'm actually going to make a moment to stop, clear, and make space for the universe again. Because when we're in day-to-day reality, it's very easy to fill the space with what we know, what we fear, what we've got to get on and doing, and of course, what's going on around us. Yeah, because we have eyes and ears, our focus goes horizontally. It goes out. It gets caught up with what is around us. Hello, that's fine. It's natural. It's human. And yet, if we're talking about living in consciousness, if we're talking about spiritually engaging with everything, we still need to do that, but we also have to sort of multitask. And while we're doing that, get a feed from upstairs in a way that we've got that little, what could be called voice, not really, even though it can be, depending on the person. Yeah, we've got that little voice in our ear going, no, not that way. No, that's not quite the whole deal. Just breathe, relax, wait. You'll know when it's time to move. It's interesting, isn't it? Because in one sense, knowing when it's time to move, and therefore knowing the power of stop, knowing the power of witnessing is so important, because the more we make room to witness, which at the end of the day is just observe and let life show you what it's trying to tell you right now. The more you do that, the less the drama comes, because you've already positioned as an audience member, as an engager with what's happening, rather than just a reactor or a maker, as in source. So use these months to practice these things. Yeah, enjoy doing that. But within that, again, come back to zero, come back to the fact that everything feeds into the positive if it is allowed the space to do so. That doesn't mean give it double if it's unpleasant. It just means, you know what, if it is challenging, if it does seem not quite right, negative, whatever those words are, don't lock it in to just those labels. Label it for sure. You need to so as to place it well. But also within that, let it evolve. If you let every single atom and therefore every dynamic that's going on, if you let that be intelligent and therefore capable of shaking itself out, coming to its realizations, coming to balance and fulfillment for everybody's sake again, it will. But we have to allow the space for that to happen. All the very best to you as you travel through February. Feel free to come through now to part 4 of my monthly observations for this month. And again, get in contact if you need, whether you want to develop, whether you just want a reading, a healing or something like that, or whether you'd just like to talk more about February and what it's going to do in your world. Travel well. Take care. Thanks for tuning in.